Joey, I'm gonna start the show out here with an amazing story. I guess it wouldn't be amazing. It's amazing to me.
All
But it
right.
won't be as amazing to the rest of the world because they'll look at it as stupid and excessive. But I want to talk about how I had intruder into my home and how I had to fist fight him.
What? For real?
Yeah, yesterday. It happened legit yesterday. Before you get worried, it was a wasp, not a person.
Oh, I was going to ask if it was a raccoon.
Yeah. You know what? I guess I can say this. I don't think anyone's gonna fucking wander into my home. In the morning when I let Coops out, I usually just leave the back door open so I can get cleaned up and ready to go, and he can just come back in when he's done.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up yesterday and just kind of laying in bed, comfortable as fuck. It is like I don't know. I don't know if I'm just more comfortable lately because the bed is just hitting differently, or it's because of this, as I mentioned a couple episodes ago about this this headache of a relationship that I'm suffering through.
Finally over.
Yeah, it
Nice.
might finally be done. But I just found myself being more comfortable, like sleeping and laying down and just being relaxed, like kind of like definitely like a weight being lifted. Like if I could physically lose as much weight as I felt have been lifted from me,
Yeah.
people fear I'd be maybe bulimic.
Like
But as I'm
that
laying
one
there,
episode of Family Guy where Peter's like tiny.
yeah,
His head's still the same size.
exactly. And then he goes and gets like muscle implants and shit, and then he becomes jacked. Yeah. And then like a total douchebag until he falls into like a tub of lard or some where the fucking like some vat of fat. But no, so I'm laying there and all of a sudden I see something like fly across my face. I'm saying like, what the fuck was that? Because at first I thought it was like a dust bunny or something like that maybe fell from the fan. But I'm like, fuck no. I know I cleaned the dust off my fan because I just bought a new fucking duster and I wanted to try it out on the one place that meant the most to me, my bedroom. So I was like, no, that can't be it. But then when I look at the wall, I was like, boom, there it is, a fucking wasp sitting on my fucking wall. I'm like, oh my god. So I'm saying like, what the hell do I hit it with? I got to figure out something because he's going to fly away and I don't want to use my hand.
Yeah, you might get stung.
I get stung. So I found an old tank top, wife beater shirt, whatever you want to call them. I've always called them wife beaters, even though it's probably not the most, correct, whatever.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Undershirt.
I never really remember it. I'm bad at remembering it. But I've tried to start calling them fluted tanks.
Fluted tanks.
Yeah.
Which
is a real effeminate name for them, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's technically what they are.
Okay, real quick. I've worn these undershirts.
Yeah.
98% of the year, every year, since maybe freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it was t-shirts, polos, dress shirts, sweatshirts, whatever. I have worn these under because I don't want to live in a world where my ass crack hangs out at the wrong opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like showing off my nipples.
Yeah.
Through my shirts.
Exactly. See?
Yeah.
It's like, so, I've always called them wife beaters. I've heard people call them like Dago tees.
Yeah, which is a racial slur, by the way, against Italians. Which I had no idea. I thought it was just like the type of tea they wear. And then I heard somebody use that phrase, the word, and I was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. I never knew that either. Never knew that either until I think like somebody had like I think it was like maybe like a stand-up video of a stand-up bit or something.
I think that's what it was. It was like Bill Burr or Louis C.K., one of those guys.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, Dago T's gotta go out the window. I was like, well, fuck it. I'll just, just continue to call it a wife beat or whatever. Or like because it's not
everyone knows what you're talking about and almost nobody cares.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
But anyway, go on.
Yeah. So I grabbed like an old one that was out of the drawer and shit because I don't put clothes away anymore. It all sits on my fucking pool table downstairs. So all the shit that's in my drawer is just like, why do I fucking still have it? So I grabbed one out and I fucking hit the Wasp on the wall and it drops. I'm like, fuck yeah, victory. I can finally lay back and go to bed. I was like, oh, I should probably pick it up because the Cooper accidentally eats it or some shit. I look down and it's fucking missing. And I'm like, what the hell? And I look off to the side and it's like trying to fucking like walk away. I'm like, oh, hell no. So I put the fucking, tank top on top of it and try to fucking like hit it, to fucking kill it. And I lifted it up and nothing. Like I didn't realize how plush my fucking carpet was. But I'm just like, what the hell? So I'm fucking hitting it and nothing. So I throw the fucking, tank top over and I start punching the fuck out of it. Just like fucking just going to town on this thing. Like I just felt like Amber fucking Heard just fucking just wailing on this fucking Wasp. And it just wouldn't fucking die. Like the fucking the will to live in this fucking Wasp is stronger than anything I've ever fucking fathomed of being part of, fucking be like how I would fucking live my life. I'm like, God damn. Like, I almost felt bad about finishing him off. I just kept fucking punching him until he stopped moving. Yeah. Eventually he did. Yeah. He did fall through the vent, which I am a little nervous about because if he truly wasn't dead, he's probably somewhere in my vents now, healing, training. Like Bruce Wayne in the pit. Eventually he's going to climb out. And we're going to have a huge brawl between, me and the Wasp.
Yep.
Yeah, which he'll win.
Right. Yeah.
But that's my story.
That's Wasp. They move into the neighborhood, and then you got all sorts of HOAs forming, and next thing you know, you're in a gated community, and you're spending more on your HOA than your mortgage, and then your kids can't learn about black people anymore. It's crazy.
It's
damn wasps.
Perfect.
It's my favorite joke of all time is to conflate bugs with white Anglo-Saxon Protestants.
God. There's no better way to start a show out than this. This is what we do. This is what draws the peeps in.
Yep.
Yeah. But guys, we are here on this freaking show. I am your host, Travis T.
And I'm Cartoon Joe.
And I know there are some things I definitely wanted to talk about. I wanted to kind of go over like why it seems like it's been a while. Or no, I'm sorry. I want to go over the reason why there was like a flood of content that came out on our podcast page over the last week, and I'll explain that. Explain everything that we've discussed and everything, and also to remind everyone that make sure you check out our YouTube page because Cartoon Joe and I did do a fish sandwich ranking. Over I can't remember how many. It was a lot of sandwiches.
It was 9, I think.
8
or 9 sandwiches. Yeah.
Yeah, so we suffered through and ate a bunch of fish, so we could tell you guys which one has the best fish sandwich. Still to this day, can't buy a fish sandwich, just overly fished.
Yep.
Got this brand new air fryer, and I can't even make myself a piece of fish. I'm like, no, I just can't do it.
Yep.
I will tell you though, one thing that was never mentioned in the video, and I'm wondering maybe if you agree with this or not. I don't know how you particularly take your fish, but one thing that was never mentioned that kind of clicked in my head, I wonder why they don't have some kind of a lemon flavoring to their sandwiches.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I don't know.
Right? I mean, I know every time I order fish, from a restaurant or some of that, usually it comes like a little wedge of fucking lemon.
Yeah,
but even
lemon.
Yeah, like Saganaki, a lot of seafood does.
Yeah, we had at least one with some kind of special tartar sauce or whatever. Why isn't there a lemon tartar sauce?
There should be. There should be. I mean, I'm sure there's some kind of citrus inside of it, inside the sauce to begin with.
Yeah.
But
or a vinegar or something.
Right.
There's an acidity.
Right. If there was any, Culver's would probably be the one that would be the most likely to have some kind of lemon flavoring to their fish.
Yeah.
I think everyone else
lemon butter.
Yeah, I think everyone else is just too fast foody. But if Culver's really wanted to, just get even a lemon spritzer bottle, just to spray the fucking fish right quick or something like that. I think it'd make all the difference.
Oh, yeah.
You know, maybe it could have moved it to number 1. You know, all they had to do is travel better. But Arby's, if Arby's just tried, they wouldn't be the most recent Burger King of my life.
No kidding. So, no kidding.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Yeah, I'm gonna talk a little bit and explain why everything was so backlogged. Which isn't that exciting of a story. I guess I could talk about my date. I guess who really gives a fuck about that now?
Yeah.
But that way, you know what? I can have our listeners tell us if I was being too paranoid or not. I won't leave out the one. I'm going to leave out the one part. The one that you know which one I'm talking about. You know what part
I think so.
The one that makes me look like a bad guy.
Oh yeah.
But no, I'll talk about that and everything. I want to dive into all that, but before we do, I gotta remind everyone here that this episode of this freaking show is brought to you by CarterComics.com. 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 I know what you're thinking. Geez, what website do I go to? Well, think of a snake at the end of the webpage. CarterComics.com.
I'm glad you clarified that, because I did feel like the way that you pronounced S just now sounded a bit like an F.
Carter Comics.
Yeah, well, like COMICF is what it almost sounded like, because you put so much emphasis on it.
Well, I thought
was very funny.
I just want to make sure people knew that there's an S at the end of it.
Yeah, there is an S. It's plural.
Yeah, because Dr. Doug came.
It's not a joke.
Yeah. No. Oh, yeah. He owns more than one comic. He owns comics.
Yeah.
Dr. Doug came at me about that. He said I'm out here throwing around a CarterComic.com, and I'm like, oh shit, no, my bad. So I just want to make sure you guys know CarterComics.com.
Weird.
Yeah, it's the one place you go to get it's the one place you should go to get all your comic needs and wants achieved. Now, I say should because you could obviously go to multiple different places and pick up comics, but the problem is you're not going to get the same quality or value out of your purchase or experience like you do at CarterComics.com. They have different ways of you to purchase your books, whether it be just straight through their website at CarterComics.com, or you can go to one of their 4 eBay pages and either choose to bid on a comic that you particularly want, or they even have make me offer style comics where you just give them the best offer possible. And by the best offer, I do mean give them an offer that's worth a sale. Don't throw I joke around with a lot of people about when they're saying, oh, I'm going to put this up for sale. Oh, I'm going to sell this. I'm going to sell this. And no matter what the fuck it is, it could be a brand new TV or a fucking house. I offer them $50. Cause at least they got one offer. Don't do anything like that. Carter Comics is a business. They take a lot of time out of their lives. Not to give too much background on, Dr. Doug. But Dr. Doug still has and continues to have a full-time job that requires a lot of work, a lot of hours and stuff. So all the Carter Comics stuff is done either by his wife or in his free time. So he really, really busts his ass to give you guys the best experience in comic purchasing. So show him the proper respect by, giving him a great offer when it comes to comics. Don't be like me. I poke fun at him constantly. But I can do that because the check clears. So maybe I'll stop if it doesn't. But it does, always will. So fuck it. I can't thank Carter Comics enough to be for being a sponsor of this show. I really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of great. I mean, I know we talk about a lot, but I hate to never mention them. But we've had a few sponsors of the show that are no longer here anymore, like Dappertise and Fire Pit Bar and Grill.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, shit, even for
no longer on the show, right? Because Fire Pit's still a thing.
Fire Pit's still a thing. Yeah, they're still there.
Cool. I think We Are Dappertise folded. I'm pretty sure they're not even a company anymore.
Yeah, but that's not our fault.
No. I was just checking because I was like, oh no, did they close? Because they're delicious.
Oh no, Fire Pit's still there. No, 100% still there. I can't wait to go back and check them out and sit down and eat with them and everything. But they just didn't need us anymore. Like we're just doing it as a favor to kind of like get their name out and everything. And I think we did I think we did all we could. It's just interesting to kind of like see all the things that, the different products and companies that come around, and, we have the ability to kind of work with in some capacity. Mm-hmm. And there's always options for more out there, down the road and everything. We just gotta, stay open-minded.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. Death Wish would have been a great one, but I think they just got way too big for us.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, and they're very ego-ish. I think they seem very ego-ish.
Oh, yeah. They're in, like, Walmart and Jewel now and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, good for fucking Death Wish coffee.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's one of those things, too, where it's like because when I first heard Death Wish, it was in, 2015 when we started recording. I think they were a sponsor of Geekcast Live. And, I never thought much of them. You gave them to me as a housewarming gift, and I was like, okay, cool. I've never heard of this coffee before, but I'll give it a shot. And it's great coffee, still good coffee. Mm-hmm. But I didn't think it was anything that people really knew about until my brother talked about how Nick, he orders Death Wish coffee.
Yeah,
buys Death Wish coffee. My friend Stephanie drinks Death Wish coffee. It just started popping up fucking everywhere. I think there's YouTube ads about it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I
think they had a Super Bowl commercial.
Oh, did they? Good for them.
Yeah. I'm impressed.
Right? They couldn't just shell out a couple of bucks a month for us? Dicks. But good coffee.
Yeah, really good coffee.
Yeah. CarterComics.com is the best place for you to go to get your comic book needs. Let me pull up the comic pick of the week here real quick so we get that out to you guys so you know which comic to really focus on and try to pick up today so you don't miss out. What the fucking week is it? There we go. May 3rd. It's gonna be May. All right, let's see. We got Black Panther #5, graded at 9.8, a Max Lim Marvel Battle Lines variant. It's a bloody struggle for power with the new Black Panther attacked on all fronts. Cyber-enhanced assassins are gunning for her, using technology whose origins will rock Wakanda to its foundations. And sexy new villain Predator is looking to make a trophy out of her head. Meanwhile, T'Challa, no longer the Panther, embarks on a path that will take him down dark roads he's never walked before.
Nice.
Right?
Sounds fun.
Right. And that's one thing that was cool too, because I was discussing with them on what we should do as far as what kind of comics should be the pick of the week. And we're getting to the point where it's more relatable to certain events that are happening. Obviously we know Black Panther is going to, have a different hero. We just don't know who it is yet. Do we know that?
I don't think we do. I think his sister was supposed to take up the mantle, but then the actress came out as an anti-vaxxer or something.
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh.
And so Disney's not sure they want to keep working with her. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I did see an article about they were talking about how Darkhawk. They were thinking about replacing Black Panther with the character Darkhawk.
Darkhawk. It sounds cool. I'm not trying to say it doesn't sound cool. It also feels like you're just going to trade one dude out for another dude.
Yeah.
You're like, this sounds almost as black as Black Panther. We'll just trade it out.
Yeah, I mean, I can actually see if I can pull up the article, but yeah, I don't know anything about Darkhawk other than like his Marvel Contest of Champions character.
Nice.
But I'm trying to pull up the Black Panther.
I love his outfit. This is fantastic.
Now, why is it when I search Black Panther, I just get a bunch of fucking comics called Geiger?
I don't know.
Am I spelling that right? Yeah. You know, they
Team affiliations, the Fraternity of Raptors. Nice.
There we go. Boom. Black Panther number 5, 9.8. Currently on sale, not on sale, but currently available at CarterComics.com for $63. But if you use the promo code FREAKNET, that's FREAKNET, you'll save 10% on your entire order, which is a $6 saving, which will give you a grand new total of $57.
Nice.
Math.
Good.
But don't just stop at one comic. Fill up a bunch of comics. I just typed in Black Panther, and it looks like they got at least 3 that are available right there on the website. And I'm sure they got more on their eBay pages. And you know what? If you end up going on the eBay page and you seem to not be able to find what you're looking for, you're like, man, I really wish they had this comic, reach out to them. Make sure you message them and say, hey, listen, I'm trying to find this comic. I don't know where it's at. Do you happen to have it? They have thousands of books still in inventory that have yet to hit their store, their online store, or their eBay accounts. They just have so much to go through, and it's just, you know, it's literally a mom and pop shop kind of thing. You know, it's just them doing their thing. Reach out to them. Let's see if they have it available. If they don't have it, they'll do what they can to find it. They want to give you guys the best experience, and they want you guys to make them the one stop you go to grow your collection, to start a collection, or just to find a comic to read while you're taking a shit. It doesn't matter. They have comics for all occasions. So CarterComics.com, promo code FREAKNET, FREAKNET. Save yourself 10% on your entire order. The more you spend, the more you save with FREAKNET promo code.
That's really good. That was a good pitch. I like that.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. This Freakin' Show is also brought to you by Audible.com. If you're looking for your next great read, go to audibletrial.com/freaknet and get yourself a free 30-day trial of Audible, plus a credit towards your first audiobook purchase. That's right. You get a free 30-day trial of the fantastic Audible audiobook program for 30 days and a free credit towards your first book. What do you got to lose? What do you got to lose? Go do it right now. Go sign up right now. Go listen to whatever you want to listen to. They got all kinds of titles on their website. I think they've got millions of titles now. And on top of that, if you subscribe to the premium plan, you got access to other podcasts, other short stories, other audiobooks that are Audible exclusives. I don't know why you're still here. Go to audibletrial.com/freaknet. Sign up today.
Good job, Joe.
Thank you.
So how do you feel about Nicor Gas raising their prices once again?
I didn't know about it.
Yeah, May 1st, it went from 68 cents to $1.11.
Fuck them.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys out there thought your gas prices were high before. But it's okay.
That's almost double.
Yeah. Would you like to hear the valued customer letter that they sent out?
Yeah.
Excellent. Dear valued customer, as members of our communities, it is imperative to Nicor that we are transparent and open with our customers about factors that may affect their natural gas bill. Nicor Gas purchases natural gas at the cost established by the market as a regulated utility. That cost is passed through to customers without markup, meaning customers pay the same price the company pays for natural gas. Nicor does not and cannot profit from the sale of natural gas. Each month, Nicor Gas must fill the gas supply charge or current cost of natural gas with the Illinois Commerce Commissions to reflect any fluctuation in cost. Due to the increased market price of natural gas and other factors, the Therm gas supply charge filed with the ICC will be $1.11 in May compared to $0.68 in April. Nicor gas customers will see this increase reflect in the May bill under the per therm gas supply charge section. This supply charge for natural gas delivered by Nicor represents approximately 70% of the typical residential customer bill. Other monthly charges include taxes, and the cost to deliver natural gas to your home. Your gas bill will vary from month to month for various reasons. The uncertainties related to weather patterns, market conditions, and escalating geopolitical events that have continued to cause an uptick in natural gas market prices across the world. Price increases are also being experienced in other areas, such as the grocery stores, the gas pumps, and other goods and services. It just shows that, hey, everyone else has raised their prices. Why can't us?
Yep.
Nicor Gas understands our customers expect and deserve natural gas services that is clean, safe, reliable, and affordable every day, including service without interruption through extreme weather and unpredictable low temperatures like we have seen throughout the spring. I'm sorry. I'm going to assume, and maybe, Joe, you're smart. You can tell me if I'm wrong. I'm okay with that. If you have an uninterrupted service of gas coming to your house, that's called a leak.
Oh. I like that.
I'm not wrong, right? I mean, it's not like a fucking, like, it's not ComEd.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think they just mean that, like, your gas doesn't get shut off for natural emergencies. Or whatever.
Okay. I'm going to go with what you said because it sounds less.
No, I like that, though. It's a good turn of phrase. That was good.
We care about our customers and are committed to providing support. Please reach out anytime to learn more about your bill and the financial assistance options available. Thank you for your continued dialogue and communication. We'll send new updates as they become available. So they understand that what they're doing is ridiculous as far as how much it's going to cost now.
Yeah.
Because from December 2020 to December 2021, my bill went up $80. Now this is going to probably increase it more.
Yep. Gosh. Oh yeah. I mean, well, depending on how much you use, it'll double it.
Yeah.
Just about. I mean, that's 68 times 2 is what? 132. So it's just under. It's 20 cents under being doubled.
Yeah. But see, now they can say that. Now they say, listen, we raised it, but at least we didn't double it.
Yeah.
Because
then, I do appreciate that as a public utility, they do have to. The price is attached to the market price, but I feel like as a public utility, they should have the ability to say, you know what, we're going to eat that cost. But I don't know.
I'm just not a big fan of it being that it's Illinois.
Yeah.
It didn't say United States. It said Illinois' cost.
Does Nicor service multiple states? I honestly don't know.
I always assumed.
Yeah.
I don't think Nicor is just in Illinois.
I have no idea. I think I had Duke Energy back in Indiana.
That sounds right.
But who knows?
That sounds Indiana-like.
Some bullshit. That's what it really is at the end of the day. How come I didn't get a letter about this? That's my real question right now.
It was an email.
Oh, I don't think I have an email about it either.
Maybe it's not you. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah. It'd be wild if they're only doing it to the downstate. Oh, nope, there it is. People's Gas Business. Oh, never mind. That's churches.
Hey, their headquarters is in Naperville.
Now the real story comes out.
Nicor Gas is an energy company headquartered in Naperville, Illinois. Its largest subsidiary, Nicor Gas, is a natural gas distribution company founded in 1954. The company serves more than 2 million customers in a service territory that encompasses most of the northern third of Illinois, excluding the city of Chicago.
Well, no, but I'm not in the city of Chicago, and I got Nicor. So curious about this now. Because I know my gas price has gone up. I mean, it's ridiculous how much more it was this winter.
AGL Resources announced its acquisition of Nicor in December 2010. The acquisition closed the following year. Southern Company announced its acquisition of AGL in 2016. Gas on gas on
my
gas.
Bill's getting processed today.
Well, thank God the summer's coming, so we don't have to have our heat on anymore.
Yeah, right. My only downside is I got a gas grill and a gas water heater. Oh well, electricity's up too.
Well, enjoy cold showers and baking.
Yeah.
Joe, what do you want to freaking bring back?
What do I want to freaking bring back? I'm so ready for this. So, Travis, you know, if there's one thing that's true about me, and has been true most of my life, is that I am an old man in a young man's body.
You know, I thought about that. Yeah, I was like, you know, Joe's such an old soul, but it's also an old body.
Yeah. Well, it's becoming an old body quickly. Gotta say, I tried to pick up my cat yesterday, threw my hip out.
A lot of button-up sweaters.
Yeah, I love button-up sweaters.
Lots of cardigans.
A lot of bow ties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there was a moment because, like, I always thought you wore glasses just for style, not for function.
Oh yeah.
Until I saw you looking at something and literally adjusted the fucking glasses to read properly, and I'm like, "Geez, Pappy."
Yeah.
Fucking man.
Yeah, no, I can't see anything without my glasses. I'm like Velma from Scooby-Doo.
So it seems like what you want to bring back is your youth.
Yeah. No, that's not it. But yes, absolutely. If that's an option, if we can do that, Walgreens, Nabisco, get on it. No, I was close though. In my youth, I hung around with my grandparents a lot on all sides, and I was lucky enough to spend a lot of time with my great grandparents on my mom's side, and a little bit on my dad's side, but mostly on my mom's side. And you know, the thing about old people is that they always have hard candies, right?
Yep.
Werther's hard caramels, those little strawberry candies that just, I think, begin to appear when you turn 65. I don't know, maybe the government just sends them out. I'm not sure, but I can never find them in stores, but I always find them in pockets of elderly people. But one of my absolute favorite hard candies to suck on when I was a kid was the Nabisco cream savers. They usually were it was like strawberry and cream, or I think there was like a caramel and cream and an orange cream. And they were so tasty. I mean, I literally would eat them like candy because that's what they were. I never really, I was not much for sucking on hard candies. I would usually just chew them almost immediately. Like the Tootsie Pop Owl. But, yeah, the cream savers, bring those back. I get a hankering for those at least once a month. And they don't exist anymore. You just can't find them anywhere. So, cream savers. That's all this is leading to.
I like that, man.
Yeah.
You know, I always thought that, like, you know what? I want to do that one. Like, that one's one I would love to fucking bring back. But you know what? I always wanted to kind of like that was my safety school.
Yeah, I hear you.
One. But then you fucking took it. But I like it because I'm on the same boat. I think they're phenomenal. In fact, your discontinue inspired me to change mine to something that I've been sitting on. I've been wanting to talk about as something to bring freaking back as well. I just want to look at something real quick here before I did it. Yeah, okay. So, you're talking about your cream savers. Perfect.
Yeah.
I think it definitely needs to come back. I'm actually go ahead and I'm throwing it on the list because I started making a list of all the stuff that we've mentioned.
I'm super glad you did. I definitely wasn't sure if cream savers had made the list.
Not on my end.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, Woo. And you look like you know what your first one was?
No, I don't remember at all.
Altoid Sours.
That's what I was going to guess, but I thought maybe that was my second or third.
All right. Anyway, so you inspired me to change mine. So I'm just going to use mine for a later date if I remember it.
Yeah.
So, almost similar to what you have. Cream savers, phenomenal. Love them. Because the thing was, it wasn't just like any ordinary hard candy. It actually, it felt like it was made from cream.
Yes.
It's delicious.
It was so velvety.
Yeah. So something that was very similar in appearance, like the physical appearance of it, not so much like how it kind of looked at non-creamy. The structure of how like it looked. My choice for bringing Freakin back, Starburst hard candies.
Oh yeah.
Right? Remember those? Right?
Just barely. I just barely remember them.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
It's something that came up like I want to say, I don't know, maybe about a month ago. I was like, I was looking at getting some Jolly Ranchers because I love Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah, same.
Like huge fan of all Jolly Ranchers, but Green Apple. I think Green Apple is still the worst fucking candy flavor to be out there.
I will save your green apples. I'll eat them. I love green apple.
Done. Anytime I have Jolly Ranchers, Green Apples, all yours.
I'm in.
But I kept thinking about I'm a chocolate candy guy. Chocolate candy always. If it's not chocolate candy, fucking Jolly Ranchers. But I was like, you know what? I would love to have fucking Starburst hard candies. And the thing is, and it kind of goes relatable to a lot of the other things we've done and bring it freaking back, is that some of this stuff is still available, but it's like people who have been holding on to bags for like years that are selling on eBay for like $80 fucking.
Yeah. And I've seen just enough Good Mythical Morning to know that those things aren't good anymore.
Yeah. You ever see the one where like they ordered like some Disney candy and ended up just being a block of wood?
Yeah.
Amazing. Ooh. Fucking amazing. But Starburst hard candies, I remember going out trick-or-treating with Colin one night. It was Halloween, in case you didn't know. In case you want to know the exact date, it was a trick-or-treating day. We just went out, around the neighborhood getting candy and shit like that, and it was like towards the end of I think the end of the night was like 9:30 or whatever. We get like, okay, let's get this last house, and then I guess we're done.
Yeah.
So we go up there and everything. We knock on the door, trick or treat, whatever. And this guy has this bowl. And I guess he works for the candy distribution company for AMC Theater.
Nice.
So he had fucking candy, and it was just a bowls of just fucking like Starburst hard candy. And he like had maybe like half a bowl left or something like that. He's like, he said trick or treat, you get a lot of people over here. I'm like, oh yeah, it's weird, whatever, give us candy, who cares? So he's just like, here, you guys take this, you take that, finish off the bowl, put the bowl in our bags and stuff. He's like, give me 1 second, stay right here. So he walks inside and everything, we're standing there like, what the hell? He comes back with 2 large bags of Starburst hard candy.
Oh man.
It's like, here,
nice.
He's like, here you go, I don't need it, blah, blah, whatever. It was phenomenal. I love the fact that he did that. It was really nice. But those candies, I will never get over.
Yeah. Oh man, they were so good.
They were.
I totally forgot about them until now.
If it wasn't for me really wanting Jolly Ranchers, I probably wouldn't have given them a second thought either. Cause I kept thinking about I know there's more fucking hard candies out there that I really enjoyed. And at first I was thinking like, maybe I'll look at getting those kind of like they're like pop rock suckers.
Yeah.
Those are always good too. But it's good that I don't think it's enough credit. But you ever go to like those like I don't know how you describe them. I went to a Civil War reenactment a couple years ago, 2018, right. I think.
Yeah.
And it was at what the hell was it called? I can't remember that. For the sake of the fucking story, it was called Dollop Farms. I don't think it's called Dollop. It's something else, but it's Dollop Farms.
Okay.
And they got like crafts and shit like there, kettle corn, stuff like that you can like buy and things for like kids to do and shit. Old clothes and like, farm equipment to look at and shit. It's just like one of those kind of places.
Yeah.
But they had a stand that sold like the flavored honey sticks.
Oh, I love those.
And I don't think those get enough credit in the fucking world. That's literally just flavored honey in a plastic stick. They just put the tip into your fucking mouth, pull back, it pops it open, and you literally just sit there and drink fucking honey.
Yeah.
I don't think those get enough credit. I love them. I think they're delicious. And
totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, people who make them are heroes. Flat out.
Right. I just love how somebody's like...
I'm talking about bees. Bees who make them are heroes.
You guys are the real MVBs.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. That shit was...
I heard recently, just as a weird sidebar, and not, I know I can have a tendency to be alarmist because I'm not a negative person. I try not to be. I'm really very optimistic about lots of things, but I also try to be prepared for the worst, right?
I'm glad you bring that up because there is something I'm going to ask you when you're done.
Yeah. I learned recently that the American honeybee is not in as much danger as we thought. Apparently their populations have been staying mostly stable for the last decade or so. So good job, everyone. Continue to use less pesticides and leave wildflowers out for bees. That stuff.
Continue to leave wildfires out for bees.
Yeah, leave wildfires out for bees.
Smokey.
On the same note, fuck you, Delta. Pay attention to your bees. Don't leave them on the tarmac to die.
Is that what Delta did?
Yeah, well, they didn't do it I don't think they did it on purpose, but there was a shipment of 5 million bees that was supposed to go from Atlanta to Alaska.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, the bees were left on the tarmac, and the plane had to reroute back to Atlanta. And by the time anyone noticed anything, they died from heat exhaustion. So 5 million dead bees sucks.
See, that's why you got to fly Southwest.
Yeah.
There
it is.
Southwest,
give us money.
Out of all these issues with all these plane companies, I rarely ever hear Southwest in the news about something negative.
Right.
But
they're only ever in the news for their cheap direct flights.
Right. And their free check bags.
Yeah.
At least one check bag. See, now thanks to Dr. Doug, I'm throwing S's at the end of fucking words that don't need it. Anyways, let me ask you a question. Up the, because you and I are really the same in the concept of we always hope for the best, but we do want to plan for the worst.
Yeah.
And we want to give, people the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I try to.
I want to get your opinion because there were two different people given two different statements when it came to the pandemic and where we currently are in it.
Okay.
And I want to know who you believe and where you think it's going. All right. So Dr. Fauci stated in an interview that when it comes to the United States, the pandemic's behind us. Okay. Psaki, I think I'm pronouncing her name right.
Oh yeah, Jen.
Press conference saying that the pandemic is very well alive. As an educated person, I just want to know where you stand with it. Okay, we got the doctor saying it's in a rear window. Then we got the press conference lady who is saying we are still driving through it. Who do you think? Yeah. Who do you think? I'll give my opinion afterwards. I really value yours a lot.
Yeah.
I want to get your opinion on who should be more trusted when it comes to that.
So, 9 times out of 10, I would say you should trust the doctor and the infectious disease guy.
Yeah.
And I think in this particular case, my struggle is I think that they are both wrong and they are both right for different reasons. I think that Fauci is correct that the pandemic is over because I think we've reached a point where the virus is now endemic.
Yeah.
And it's just not. We've lost. We lost the pandemic. I think that the virus is now just going to be around forever, and until something, I don't know what has to happen. I don't know if the virus is going to lose its potency over time, or if we're going to develop more natural immunity over time, or better vaccines, or a longer vaccine regimen. I'm not sure what it'll be, but I do think that that he is correct to say that the pandemic is behind us because the major spike is behind us. But if you also look around at like a lot of people are looking at wastewater plants and how much virus is in people's sewage, which basically is a better measure of how many people are actually sick than hospital tests now, because you have to pay for tests, and it's like $100 if you don't have insurance, which is too much money. It should have remained free. So the virus is still around. So I think Jen Psaki is correct that the virus is still around, and we're still losing. I think it's around 600 people a day. So they're both wrong and they're both right. I don't know. I'm at the point where I'm ready to resume living my life with the minor modification of I'm still wearing my mask when I go to the grocery store. I still will put my mask on unless I know everybody in the room. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, to me, it's such a no-brainer, easy thing to do that doesn't really bother me, that I just wear it. You know, but and if there's more vaccines that come out, I'll take them. I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, let me
Anyway,
let me ask you about this then, Joe.
Yeah.
When would you decide that you never have to wear a mask again? Personally, for you, not a suggestion for everyone else, but for you. Like, do you think you're ever going to come to a day where you're going to walk into a Kroger, a Burkhart's, a Walmart, whatever, and be like, you know what? I think it's time where I don't need my mask anymore.
I genuinely don't know. Because it's not even an inconvenience to me. It's just a thing I do, is I put my mask on when I walk into a grocery store. Now I will say, when I went on vacation, I did test it, partially because, you know, we're in a small town in rural Michigan, and I'm dressed in like bright pastels and sandals on a cold day, which I know looks weird to people.
Yeah, but when you're from Chicago, it's kind of like,
okay. Right. I don't care. I like wearing I don't like wearing shoes.
Yeah.
You know, but I just figured I look like enough of a person who doesn't belong here that I don't want to stand out anymore. Yeah. And so I will say I did go into a grocery store without my mask once. And honestly, I was so uncomfortable that I'm not sure I will do it again for a long time.
I gotcha.
So, but I also, here's the other thing though, is I do think that the next time I go to the gym, I will at least try it. I will probably try to have my mask off. You know, just to see if I can feel comfortable. So.
Gotcha. Yeah. You know what? I'm kind of on the same boat with you when it comes to Fauci and Psaki.
Yeah.
Psaki. God, now I want Saganaki.
Yeah.
Sake.
Some warm rice wine.
I kind of agree with you when you said what you said about Fauci and Psaki, where they're both right and they're both wrong. I don't think the pandemic's ever going to be in our rearview mirror. I can see realistically, yes, 50 years from now, if nothing's more than what's happening right now, if it doesn't grow beyond where we're at today, 30, 40, 50 years from now, it's just going to be another fucking thing. It's going to be another fucking Black Plague. It's going to be another fucking AIDS pandemic.
Yeah, we're going to have spikes.
It's just going to be another moment in fucking history. If it keeps fluctuating up and down, like I know I read somewhere how they're having spikes in I think in Africa.
Yeah.
They're seeing spikes and everything. And I didn't see too much about, another mutation or anything, even though there's supposed to be continuous mutations of the virus, going forward for
a while. Yeah, I think they're on BA4 now.
Yeah.
The Omicron variant.
Yeah, so it's like, I I don't think the pandemic's ever behind us. I do agree with you where you say I think the absolute worst of it is. I think we left that at the beginning of 2021. I think maybe around maybe August-ish is where it started to like kind of calm itself. Yeah. I honestly, like, I'm at the point now where it's like, if I'm not, I will put a mask on if asked.
Yeah.
But like honestly, like when I go into grocery stores or if I'm just running into a gas station, I'm staying away from people. I'm just going in and doing my business and I'm fucking leaving. I'm not running up to people getting like nose to nose, asking questions about where the fucking dill pickles are because for some reason everyone wants sweet.
I don't understand that. I'm with you.
Sweet relish, no. The only time I ever eat sweet relish is on a Chicago style hot dog.
Damn straight.
Which I think today's Wednesday. Say Wednesday? No.
Today's Tuesday.
Tuesday. Tomorrow is hot dog day at fucking Creamery. Hot dogs. But no, I'm a dill pickle guy. But the thing is, it's like I think I'm just on the same boat with you. Like when we were talking, I don't think we mentioned it. We might. I'm gonna do it anyways. I'm gonna put fucking Carter Comics and Dr. Doug on the fucking burner here for this one because I can. The plan is for us to be at C2E2 for 2022. I think it's in August, first week of August. Is that what we said it was?
Yep. Yeah, it's over my birthday weekend.
Oh no shit! There we go. Look at that. Nice. The plan is Carter Comics is going to look at getting a booth so they could do sales of their comic books at the convention. In doing so, Freaknet Studios will also be in attendance at the convention alongside Carter Comics, doing some kind of like live recordings and talking. We invested in a audio recorder so we could kind of do kind of go up to some cosplayers and stuff and do some interviews and stuff. That is officially the plan as of right now. Now everything could change, things could be different, whatever.
Right.
In a convention environment, especially even in August, which is 3 months from now. I think I would still respect the comfort of other people, and I will wear a mask because it's just the right thing to do. You know, there's no point to have some kind of political standpoint on it's my God-given right to not wear a mask. Cool, whatever, that's fine. You know, you guys can do whatever you want to do, but for respect to people who still, have an uncomfort. Because I mean, like I said, and Joe, I don't want to put you on the spot, but you're
not at all.
You're kind of the same person. You want to go out and live your life, but you don't want to go. But there's still that fear that something could fucking happen. And it's not even to you. It's to what you could bring home to your wife.
Exactly, to my wife, to my congregants.
Yeah, so
I still got one guy who won't even come up for communion because he is scared. He's nervous. If he catches this virus, he will die. That's the truth.
Yeah,
And so I have to take those concerns into consideration.
100%. Yeah, and that and you're not the only person out there. Everyone.
Right.
See, I guess I live in a moment in my life right now where I have less of the possibility of bringing it home to somebody because it's just me.
Right.
So it's like I mean, I don't know if that factors into my comfort level as far as, just not wearing a mask or whatever. But I mean, like it's just one of the things where if I go to C2E2, if I'm sitting at a table next to you, if I sit next to you, I'm comfortable not wearing the mask because we've been around each other doing that.
Right. Yeah.
If we get up, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Will. I know you're trying to say something.
Oh yeah, no. I was going to say the same thing basically. Just I think the other big difference is like if I didn't live near enough to the city that there's a ton of people no matter what time I go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
And a ton of people I don't know. I mean, there's literally I think there's like 16,000 people, maybe 20,000 people in Niles. And we're right around the corner from Chicago. And so it's just, if I lived in a small town where everybody kind of knows everybody and you can get a better feel for stuff, it'd be different.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's another reason I rolled the dice in rural Michigan. I figured there's not that many people who's going to be at a grocery store in the middle of the afternoon on Monday.
Mm-hmm. How was the mask situation?
Oh, no one was wearing a mask, not even the clerks.
I liked how because obviously down here, in Peatone, we kind of accepted the fact that, hey, listen, our lives are gonna be the way they are. You know, take the masks off, take those plastic fucking dividers down. It blows my mind how some of those plastic fucking dividers were literally just pieces of just fucking like plexiglass that just hang in there. I was like, I get that maybe this is protecting you from like a sneeze, like you're a salad at a fucking bar.
Yep.
You know? Yep. It was just so goofy. Like I went to
it's like a peeing section in a pool.
Exactly. But yeah, no, it's just like I said. I mean, if we go to C2E2, as far as I said, we are planning to be at C2E2 with Carter Comics. Carter Comics will be looking to sell their comics at the convention. I will bring a mask if I'm at the table. If I'm just with you, I'll probably just, for the benefit of hearing properly, I'll just hang it from my ear. But I will, I'll still have the mask. I'll just probably just hang it from my ear off to the side. If it's just you and me. If we get up and talk to people, if people come up, I'll throw the mask on. I'll respect for them. Because it's just the right thing to do. It's the same thing about the conversation we had about free speech a couple episodes ago. There's a right way and a wrong way to embrace your freedoms of free speech. It's the same thing about, there's a right and wrong way to embrace your freedoms about wearing a mask. It's not about, I'm at the point now where like the mask isn't about me. I've made it clear several times in multiple different ways that I just don't give a fuck if I get it. Don't care, whatever. I'm sure it would be very bad because I do have respiratory issues and asthmatic bronchitis. I mentioned it on my date that I'm not, because she's vaccinated because of the job she does. Yeah. I'm not vaccinated. We don't have time for me to get into my date. I'll do it on the next episode. But anyways, I told her I'm not vaccinated. And she didn't seem to care that I wasn't vaccinated until I told her I have asthmatic bronchitis. And it looked like she freaked out a bit because she kind of understands how bad it is.
Yeah.
But I do care about other people. And if I'm the reason somebody else gets sick, that would crush me.
Yeah.
But
I hear you.
So, long story short, Fauci says it's gone. Psaki says it's here. Use your guys' best judgment. I hope to God that we're at a point in our nation's history where this isn't being weaponized for political endeavors.
Yeah. And I do think we're at the point where the only way that we're going to be able to ever get control of it again, or if there's another pandemic, we have to depoliticize it as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm not. I want to be clear. I'm not vaccinated because I'm a Democrat or whatever. I'm not. I don't even consider myself a Democrat. I tend to vote for them, but I fucking hate them.
Yeah.
But their policies are closer to the ones I want than the Republicans.
Yeah, I think the thing is too is I think the seriousness of all this was fucking what the fuck is what is it called, diluted. I think the seriousness of this pandemic was diluted because everyone looked at it as if it was a political thing.
Yeah, everyone made it political. Yeah. From President Trump to the response from the Democrats to the way that Biden came into power, just disgusting. And then he immediately dropped everything.
It's been quite the roller coaster of this whole pandemic. It's been nuts. It's been crazy. No matter who was in charge, nothing was seen to be handled well.
Right. Yeah. Because top to bottom, complete bungling.
Yeah. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, no matter who was in charge, whether it was the Orange Man in 2018 or it was
the Ghost Man in 2021.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all. It was just all poorly done because the first focus of all of it was political and who's to fucking blame.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes back to my thought and opinions on management. Just full circle shit. You want a manager who, when there's an issue, if there's a problem, the first priority is to find a resolution.
Yeah.
Not find blame.
Agreed.
And I think that's what we've been doing as a country
Mm-hmm.
As a country, I think what we've been doing for the last few years is just being poor management in the sense that if something fucks up, we have to first appoint blame and then try to solve it. And the only way to solve it at that point is if we just disavow these people over here, then everything we believe in, which is the right thing, is going to be the best. And that's not the way that we should have been, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 2 years ago, last fucking month.
20 years ago, yeah.
Exactly. Find the problem, fix the issue, and then worry about everything else afterwards. Because here's the thing. Amen. As soon as you fix the issue, who gives a fuck whose fault it is?
Right.
Because you just got to
have the moral fortitude as a leader.
Yes.
No matter who's in charge, have the moral fortitude to say, this is what's right, this is what I'm going to do. And if I lose the election because of it, so be it. I saved 1 million lives.
Yeah. Yeah. The number, and I get it. If anyone had the opportunity to be president, they would want to fucking do it. But is it worth sacrificing millions of people?
Mm-hmm.
To either keep the presidency, to win the presidency, to keep your seat in, the Senate or the House or whatever. Yeah. It's like I'm sick of people who are supposed to be our leaders deciding that they're just going to be management and do what's best for them. I honestly believe it. And I have nothing against the government in the sense of please don't fucking kill me if you hear this.
Right.
But, But I think they are a firm believer of shit rolls downhill.
Yeah.
If something comes to them, it's like, oh, well, it's their fault. The people below me. And then those people, well, it goes to them. It trickles all the way down to the final person that says this pandemic would have been a lot better if they got vaccinated, if they put their mask on.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yes, fine. Yes, you're absolutely right. Like, it's my fault. I, right now, Travesty, host of this freaking show, will take responsibility for my part in this pandemic. I am sorry that I'm not vaccinated. I am sorry that I do not wear a mask on a daily basis. If this entire pandemic is solely my fault, I will take responsibility now, and I am sorry that you feel that way.
Yeah.
But if you feel that somebody like me is more to blame than J.B. Pritzker or fucking the Beetlejuice lady in Chicago, what's her fucking Lightfoot? Or our representatives in the Senate, in the House of Representatives fucking leader, SOCUS, fucking if you believe that I am more responsible for everything that happened in this country compared to everyone who's supposed to be leading this country, I'm not the problem, you are. And I'll just be honest with you about that. I don't want to sound like a dick. But if you think I'm more responsible than them, that's on you.
Well, it's the people who right now are, the Democrats have been in power for 2 years and haven't done basically anything. And they're turning around. They want people to vote for them in November. And it's like, well, you guys haven't done anything. Why would we keep voting for you?
Yeah.
I would almost rather not vote.
And that's the weird thing is, too. It's
and then it's my fault. It's my fault because I didn't vote. But, why is it not your fault that you didn't give me a reason to vote for you? Yeah. Why is it incumbent upon me to vote for you when you're not going to do anything?
Yeah. It comes to a point now where they set two things in front of you. And they said, okay, you have to choose. You stick your hand in this fucking bucket of wasps, or you stick your hand in this bucket of razor blades. Well, why? Well, why? Well, you have to pick one.
Yeah. Do you want the shit sandwich or the soggy shit sandwich?
Right. It's like it's all the same.
I guess I want the shit sandwich.
Right. I guess sometimes it's just mind blowing how again.
Can I get a hoagie? Is that an option?
Hey, squeeze. Can I get some mustard on that bitch?
Can I get
some grilled onions?
Right.
Right. You just look at it I'm like, it's a char dog. It's a char dog. It's a char dog. Because that's how they want to sell it. They want to sell it as a fucking char dog. It's not. It's a turd.
Yeah.
But it goes back to the pandemic thing. Their whole thing, J.B. Pritzker and all that, his whole sale point is, look what we're doing as far as the pandemic in Illinois.
Yeah. No. I do think we're one of the states that handled it best, truthfully.
Okay, best. Handled it compared to other people, handled it better.
Right.
Better. Great. What was the other thing? He put some fucking posts out there about how like he's been like paying off our debts and shit, which I've never.
Oh yeah, we're I think in the black for the first time in a decade.
Which surprised me. Because I think when he originally took office, his overall goal was to file for bankruptcy for the entire state.
Yeah,
blew my mind. So good for him. I just really don't want him to be fucking governor anymore. I'm just very soured on him.
Oh, for what?
I just really can't. The house thing that originally came out, I just wasn't a big fan of.
Oh, with the toilets? Yeah, I hate that.
I wasn't a big fan of that. Granted,
that's some scummy billionaire shit. I hate it.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. It's like it's not. It doesn't reflect him as a governor. It just reflects him as a person.
Totally get that.
I don't. Yeah, and I don't. And there's the thing too. It's like I can respect somebody who's in a political office, but it's hard to respect them if you hear about some of the shady things that they do. And Illinois is well known for shady governance.
Shady shit. Absolutely.
Ryan Blagojevich. I think there was another one who I think took bribes in like the 60s or 70s. It's just like it's like we do not have a great track record for clean government. Mm-hmm. So as a person, that's why I'm kind of soured on him.
That's fair. I totally understand that.
I don't know how much he controls like highways, but
I don't know.
There's certain parts of our roadways that need a lot of focus on it, and it seems like they seem to be fixing the same exact thing every 3 years instead of I don't know, bridge over the river on I-80 that I think like the max there's a grade that bridges are supposed to get, and I think the minimum is like 94, 96 or something like that, and this bridge is graded at like a 13.
Oh man!
There's a billboard out there that talks about how bad the bridge is, like that. Jeez. And I know it's been mentioned in press conferences and stuff over the last few years. It's just nothing gets done about it. But it's just a lot of small little things. Like him as a person, I'm sure he's a great guy. I know he owns.
Oh, I have no idea. And I don't want to give him the benefit of the doubt, because anyone who runs for political office at that level is just like, you're probably terrible.
Yeah.
I have no doubt he is kind and benevolent and generous to the people in his life who are family members and friends.
Exactly.
Totally agree with you. But I feel like to have the hubris to run for that level of office, I feel like you're probably a scumbag.
Yeah.
That's the reality. I don't know.
And that's the thing too. It's like, you can sit there and you can think to yourself, like, okay, in order to be governor, I have to be this type of person.
Yeah.
And if that type of person is, once in a while, I'm going to have to cave to certain people, you're not really prepared to be a governor.
Yeah.
Like, you have to make bad choices for good reasons. And I'm sorry, you have to make good reasons. God damn it, what am I trying to say? You have to make the unpopular choice regardless of who you're trying to make happy.
Yeah.
You have to be that guy. You need people to hate you because you're trying to make things better, not hate you because you're trying to make yourself better.
Yeah.
It's just a goofy thing, and Lightfoot's the same way. And I have nothing. And
I've come so far around on her. Like when she first entered office, I was like, oh man, this is great. She's so qualified. She, she's got this, she ticks some diversity boxes that are just nice. It's not like I'd vote for her because of them, but it's cool to have the first, black lesbian mayor in the city. Like that's neat. And then, like the first year of the pandemic, I was like, this is pretty good. I love that you're a meme, and I think you're providing the right support to people, like moral support and stuff. And then all of a sudden, like sometime last summer, she turned a corner and is just awful. Yeah. Just the worst. One of the worst mayors in America.
Yeah. Now see, luckily
I the school board trying to defund education and shit.
Yeah.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Absolute garbage.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I'm mad I don't live in the city anymore is I can't vote against her.
Right. Well, I think I'm kind of like where you're at with that. It's like I don't want her still in power. I want somebody else to have an opportunity to to improve the city. Like, I say a lot of shit. I say a lot of shit about Chicago. On my date, God, I'm really excited to talk about this date next week. On this date, like, the girl I went on a date with moved here from the south side of Chicago. And the very first thing I told her was, like, I don't like Chicago because all there is murder. Now she defends it. I get it. You know, this is where she grew up. Fine.
Yeah.
You know,
there's not that much murder, but I hear what you're saying.
There's so much murder.
There really isn't.
What do you mean there isn't?
There's per capita, there's more murder in a lot of small towns.
Well, okay, Joey, but I'm saying, like, if 500 people get murdered in a 3 million populated area compared to fucking 2 people in a 100 populated area, I get that, yeah, percentage-wise. Yeah. But come on. I mean, like, 13, 14 people in a weekend is excessive if there's 50 people or 50 million people. It's a lot of people, dude.
Yeah. I mean, it is a lot of people, but, like, it's not really that many people when you consider how many people there are.
Okay, where you live, how many people got murdered in the last month?
Couldn't tell you. 0, 2.
See? Piatone. 0. How many think died in Chicago?
I don't know.
Murders, bro. I think we did a statistic thing. I think we looked at a website. I think there's like actually a death count website. I think we did here on the show. We'll bring it up next week. But anyways, I'm just not a big fan of Chicago because every time I look at the news on fucking Monday morning, they talk about the murder count from the weekend before. Just not a big fan of it. And it's a lot of shootings. And there was a girl who I work with who kind of made me feel bad about myself. I'm going to let it go because I'm me and people's opinions on me don't matter. Yeah. But she talked about how like a lot of the incidents that happen in Chicago is gang on gang violence. Fine.
Yeah.
If you want to go down that road and kill each other, please do it. Stay away from the children who are trying to play in the streets. You know, I'll give credit. At least Chicago, they don't shit in the streets. At least they got that. They're not England or LA, San Francisco. Whichever one I said shit in the streets. Which one shits in the streets? San Francisco. They shit in the streets. At least Chicago's not shitting in the streets. You know, good for them. I forgot where I was going with this.
Yeah, I don't remember. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to derail you.
No, you're fine. No, it's
the girl you were saying, she's from Chicago.
Yeah, so she was selling herself. She was selling the city as if, you know, it's not that bad. And I will give her credit. Yes, I overemphasize my thoughts and opinions on Chicago for comedic reasons. Mm-hmm. I do it a lot.
The same. Yeah. I feel like I live there. I have a right to joke about it.
Exactly. So maybe Chicago isn't as bad as I make it out to be to a lot of people. Yes, there's murders every weekend. I would not, retract saying that because people do get shot every weekend.
It is true. People do die every weekend. I can't refute that.
Yeah. I don't see how this mayor couldn't help change something that comes to the questionable outlook on how the city is to people like me who grew up in a small town.
Yeah.
Like there just needs to be better. And I just don't think she's it anymore. I think people, like you said, you first saw her come in. I think there's a lot of hope in her. Something changed. And I swear to God, if she comes out and says, if it wasn't for this pandemic, I would have been reelected, I would want to fucking push her down.
Yeah.
Because I don't need her to blame her, her loss if she does lose. I don't know. I'm not a soothsayer. But I don't need her to blame her loss in the election of the mayor of Chicago on the fact that a pandemic fucking happened. Absolutely. It's her. It was 100% her. And you know what? It's the same thing with Pelosi. I think the biggest thing that really soured me on Lightfoot is the same thing that soured me on Pelosi, where they said, wear a mask no matter what, no matter when, no matter where you go, you need to wear a mask. And then they walk around maskless.
Yep.
Be the example.
Yep.
I'll give Pritzker credit. At least, other than the fact that he traveled to Wisconsin to his farm when there was, a quarantine, blah, blah, whatever. He was by himself in a vehicle going to a private property. I'm going to give him benefit of the doubt for that.
Yeah, yeah.
But at least the fucker wore a mask everywhere he went because that's how he promoted it. Lightfoot, no. Pelosi, no.
The same reason I'm not trying to puff myself up in any way, but as a pastor, if you tune in to my live stream on Sunday morning, you will see that I'm wearing a mask except for when I'm preaching.
Yeah.
It's literally the only time I take my mask off is to preach during a service.
Yeah.
And it's because I feel as a pastor, I am held to a higher standard. And as long as somebody in my congregation is still wearing a mask, I want to wear one with them so that they know they're not alone. They're not, they have my support as the pastor to continue to wear a mask and encouragement to do so if that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
And I feel the same way about elected office. If you're not willing to set the example and be the example, you should not be going around telling other people what to do.
Agreed. Yeah. You're in a position of power, whether you're the governor of Illinois, the mayor of Chicago, or the pastor of a church. Or fuck, even us here as podcasters. Like, I don't know what you would consider us. In
an ideal world, we're influencers, right?
Influencers, yeah. To be the example. Yeah, maybe I'm not the greatest example because I'm unvaccinated and I don't wear a mask, but Joe is. At least there's one good guy here.
But here's the thing: is you practice what you preach.
True.
You've been enormously consistent, and you're not lying about it.
That's true. I'm the kind of guy.
Don't get me wrong. I'd love it if you went and got vaccinated. It would make me very happy. I would worry less about you. But that's your choice as an adult.
Yeah.
And you're right. You live alone. You don't see that many people. It's probably fine.
Right? Yeah. And like I said, I do wear one if it's requested by somebody else.
Yeah.
Strangers, it's automatic. Like I said, C2E2, when we go in August, if we go up and start talking to people, that mask is going on even before I leave the table. And it's not even if it's a requirement by C2E2, I would do it regardless.
Yeah, I've been to enough cons. I know what cons smell like. If I never had to smell a con again, that's actually an upside to masks. It's like an unwashed wrestling ring.
All right. Well, we went a little bit over time, but let's get this wrapped up. Tell me what you're freaking thinking about.
What am I freaking thinking about? I would have to say that it is. I've been watching a lot of TV, and my wife and I try to find things to watch together sometimes. And we recently found on HBO the show Julia, which is a show about Julia Childs, the person who basically invented food television.
The really tall lady.
Very tall lady.
Yeah.
Very tall.
Didn't they make a movie about her?
That's way too high pitched for her size. But
yeah. They made a movie about her, right?
They did. I haven't seen
Julie and Julia?
Yeah.
It's very good.
I believe that.
I recommend it.
Yeah. I'll watch it. I'm watching the series though on HBO Max, and it is fantastic.
Now, what's the series?
Really good.
The series is like about her life from like beginning to end, or
it's about how the show came about and became successful.
Oh, okay.
And so it shows like the conversation she's having with her husband, the sort of like I don't know that they actually had marital strife. Her husband was very supportive all the way along. And it shows that I think it's like, for me personally, I really connect with her husband because like I really feel that my wife is way more successful and smarter than me, and I just I want to see her succeed and do well more than I care about any success or whatever for myself.
Yeah.
And so I love watching her husband like just be really super supportive of her and like really champion her along the way. But it's also interesting like seeing the ways that she manipulates people to make the show happen. Cause she makes it like her husband's idea that she should have this show, even though it was her idea, and, there's also this, like the fact that like they never had kids because they were, he was a diplomat for the U.S. government. And so they were always traveling and stuff, and it just never happened for them. And so, the show kind of becomes her baby in some ways. And, watching the way that like, the history of food television is just fascinating to me. And I had no idea how interesting it was to me personally. Maybe other people would find it boring, but I love like the way that they invented the way they get overhead shots is they figured out they could put a camera or a mirror on the ceiling and film the mirror so you can see what the chef is doing. It's a really interesting show, like historically, but also just it's well told. all of the characters are super compelling and interesting, and I just love it. There's nothing about that show I dislike.
That's cool, man.
So highly recommend it. If you have HBO, it's called Julia. I think there's 8 episodes. It's great.
Is it only the 8? Like, is it
I think so. I think it's just a mini series.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. But what about you? What are you freaking thinking about?
I'm not sure if you know. You probably do. But May is Mental Health Awareness Month.
I only knew that because of the Kate Spade ad that came out yesterday.
Right? That was some. Oh, God. I did want to talk about that. Oh, fuck. Okay. Well, anyways, it's by the time this show comes out, because, oh, my God, I forgot to talk about why there was so many shows in a week. We talked way too much today.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Anyways, long story short, the reason there was so many episodes that came out within a week span is because I fucked up. Let's get over it and move on. And yeah, what they sent out about K-Sped, very, very distasteful, but at least they apologized for it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I totally get, like, not realizing the connection.
Yeah.
It's a lot like the church signs that are dirty by accident, you know?
So because May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we're trying to focus on getting back into the swing of doing interviews and stuff with creators and cosplayers and such like that. I actually talked briefly, very, very briefly. I've spoken with Super Casey, who we haven't had on a show in a while.
Oh, nice.
She made a post about how her and Night Mage hasn't had a chance to collaborate on content and stuff in a while, and I was telling her I want to get them both on this show, and I'd actually love to get Oh My Sophie back on, and I thought if I could figure out a way to get Sophie, Casey, and Mage on this show to talk about not only cosplaying, but the stress and the stress and shit that goes into doing it, I think would actually help out a lot of people. I think out of the community that I've seen, these are 3 of the most influential cosplayers in that group.
Nice.
And I know from seeing from Facebook posts and stuff like that they go through their own stress and, their own, like, downtimes and stuff. And I don't think people really grasp the concept of how that affects people when you just read about it instead of just talking about it. So I want to try getting a hold of all of them and figure out a way to get them all on at once and kind of like do like I guess, I don't know if you want to call it a panel or whatever, just to talk about how they deal with stress and stuff, being cosplayers, not only cosplayers, but influencers to thousands of people, and shit like that. So that's something I've been trying to figure out and think about, as, the whole situation in my life starts to kind of like lull down and calm.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
I think it's a good idea.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
If you don't mind, I'm gonna, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm gonna cut in front of you for a second.
Yeah.
If you like this show and you need more Cartoon Joe, you can find me over at the Geekcast Live podcast at violentpress.com. We're also on Facebook, iTunes, Spotify, and Twitter by searching Geekcast Live. And I bring it up early to say that one of the sponsors for Geekcast Live is a coffee company here in Chicago called Sip of Hope. And they donate, I believe, 10 or 20% of their proceeds from every sale to mental health awareness and causes. And if you go to their website and you use the discount code Geek of Hope, you'll save, I believe it's 10 or 15% on your order. So go check out Sip of Hope Coffee, help out people with mental health issues, and save 10%.
Nice. That's really cool. I didn't know that. Is that new?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, as of, I think, this season or the season before. But, yeah, relatively new.
That's really awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, then I don't got to ask you my fucking question I actually enjoyed doing.
I'm sorry.
No, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, that was the next thing I was about to do, but now we can skip past it. Guys, make sure you follow us on social media, at Facebook, at This Freaking Show. I think we may, I'm trying to figure out the social media. I think we're going to keep Instagram and maybe post some pictures to that. Twitter might go. I don't do anything with it. So
yeah,
Twitter might go away. I think we'll keep Facebook. I think we're going to keep Instagram. Discord, we still got to figure out. There's so much.
Oh, I keep forgetting about it.
Right? So make sure you do follow us on Facebook at This Freaking Show. That's where it shows where all our shows are released and what we have going on or events coming up. And you can find our show when they are released on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Player FM, Podbean, just by searching This Freaking Show. Guys, thank you so much for sitting with us. I know it's a little bit longer than norm, but we did have a lot to talk about, and I think we did it well.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. Guys, as always, I am Travesty.
No, I'm Cartoon Joe.
And thank you for listening to another episode of This Freaking Show. I'm out.